Today's video is sponsored by Star Wars Hunters. Star Wars Hunters is an all-new, free-to-play third-person arena shooter set in the Star Wars universe. If you're a fan of PvP, you're gonna absolutely love this game. Star Wars Hunters offers a variety of 4v4 game modes and arenas inspired by iconic locations across the Star Wars galaxy. Not only that, but you can get the freedom to choose what character you want to play, from dark side assassins, bounty hunters, Wookiees, and so much more, with each hunter bringing something unique to the battlefield. My personal favorite character is Aaron the Mandalorian. Nothing beats that jetpack traversal and that wrist-mounted flamethrower. You can even customize your character with different costumes and animations, as well as weapon appearances as you play. Star Wars Hunters is also cross-platform on iOS, Android, and the Nintendo Switch, so you can play wherever you want, whenever you want. If you're interested, you can download Star Wars Hunters now using the QR code on the screen or the link in the video description. Big thanks to Star Wars Hunters for sponsoring today's video. Guys, I know I'm like literally the last person to get a guide out on this, but here we are, talking about Khvostov. We've seen multiple versions of this weapon throughout the lifetime of Destiny, and with the final shape, Bungie has given us 2 more versions. This time around, we have a legendary version and an exotic version, and they are both hidden away behind secrets within the Pale Heart. And the game doesn't tell you how to get them, where to look, what to do, nothing. So we put together this handy dandy guide that hopefully should be super easy to follow. Now, there are a few requirements that must be met before you can obtain both Khvostovs. Number 1, you must have the Final Shape campaign completed. Number 2, you must have every Cyst unlocked via the Into the Dark quest from Micah 10. If you're not sure if you have every Cyst unlocked, if you view Micah 10's Lost Ghost quest, they'll tell you how many you've discovered. And if you have 6 out of 6, then you're good to go. And number 3, you also want to make sure your consumable inventory isn't full, as you'll be picking up multiple items that go here, and they could become lost if there's no space for them. Again, this is a bug Bungie is trying to fix. Now, if you meet all of these requirements, then you're good to go. You can start collecting everything you need. Now, the items you'll be collecting include 15 lost encryption bits, which are found inside the 9 golden regional chests and the 6 Cysts. You'll also need 17 motes of light, and these are found from defeating all 9 Overthrow Bosses and from collecting all 8 visions of the Traveler. Now, we're going to start with the encryption bits from the golden regional chests. If you already gotten these and you're looking for the Cyst secrets or the visions of the Traveler, there will be timestamps below, so you can immediately go to the section that you need. Now, there are 3 golden chests in each main location of the Pale Heart. You got the Landing, the Blooming, and the Impasse. These chests are marked on your map as these icons right here, and they're relatively easy to find, and for each location, we start at the spawn, and we'll go from chest to chest. That way you can follow along if you need them all. Again, timestamps down below if you just need to skip to the chests that you're looking for. Again, I'm just gonna let this footage play out. That way you can see the whole path, start to finish, to each one of these chests. Now, after you've obtained all golden chests, you should have 9 encryption bits in your inventory, with 6 left to get via the Cysts. Now, each main location in the Pale Heart houses 2 Cysts, and if you go to each Cyst icon on the map, you'll be able to change what the currently activated Cyst is in that location. So for example, the Cyst available in the landing or the sword dance in the Moth-Infested Cavern. Now, if you go to the icon on the map, you'll see a bird that you can interact with, which will change which Cyst is activated. Now, once you have the Cyst you want, just follow the bird to reach its location. Now, for 4 of the 6 Cysts, you'll actually have to complete them in order to reach the encryption bit. They are fairly simple, albeit a bit annoying at times. But once again, all of these will be timestamped below if you need a certain location, and we'll let that all play out right here. Now, once you've collected your last encryption bit, they should now combine together to create a key. You then must take this key to the location where we first found Khvostov way back in 2016. Just load into the impasse and head into the wall. You'll go up the stairs, around a few corners, and you'll find the golden chest that houses our new legendary version of Khvostov. Now, this version comes with Pugilist, Demolitionist, and Strategist in that first column, with multi-kill clip and attrition orbs in the second column. But what you're really wanting is the exotic version, as the ricochet on that thing is nuts. So next up is collecting the Visions of the Traveler. Now, these are essentially miniature versions of the Traveler that are hidden around the Pale Heart. There's only 8 of them, and you can get hints as to where each one of them are when inspecting their pedestals near where the speaker used to be in the Lost City. But if you want to skip the hints and just jump to all the locations, we got you. Here we'll show you each of them. Now, once you've collected all 8 travelers, you should have 8 motes of light in your inventory. Now you need 9 more, which you can get from defeating Overthrow Bosses. The Landing, the Blooming, and the Impasse each have 3 different Overthrow Bosses. Now, when you kill a boss for the first time, they'll drop a mote of light. It'll be a small purple mote on the ground, and they drop right where the boss dies. This is not from the Overthrow chests, so make sure you pick them up, guys. Now, to find out which bosses you still need to kill, you can navigate to the Pale Heart World's Triumph page, and here they are all tracked. Now, do note that these triumphs used to be bugged and would incorrectly track which bosses you've defeated. So if they're all completed and you're still missing a mote, then you're in the unfortunate boat of doing Overthrow a lot to find the correct boss you actually need. For instance, my editor Jared, every time an Overthrow boss was summoned, it was always one we had yet to see if we were in the location where we hadn't defeated every boss. And I'm assuming it works like this to avoid the scenario of people just getting unlucky and getting the same boss over and over again, making it incredibly annoying to get this part of the Khvostov stuff done. Anyways, once you've eliminated every single boss and collected their mode of light, the 17 modes in your inventory will combine into one big exotic mode of light. This will act as the key to the exotic Khvostov chests. Now you'll head on over to where the speaker used to be in the Lost City. You'll place all 8 visions of the Traveler on their pedestals. This will spawn in the chest, and you can finally obtain the exotic Khvostov. Now, we've already kind of reviewed this thing, but we're probably going to break down this weapon in even more detail, but people are absolutely loving it. And that's because of the new perks and the brand new exotic trait found on this thing. You see, its exotic trait is called the Right Choice. Every 7th bullet from the weapon deals additional damage and ricochets to nearby targets. Now, the weapon perk is called Eyes Up Guardian. We're collecting orbs of power, strengthens this weapon's next several ricochet shots, providing more damage and more bounces between targets. Now, this is not necessarily a review today, guys, but I just wanted to give you an overview. But something to mention about Eyes Up Guardian, Bungie came out and stated that it incorrectly states that the ricochet rounds deal more damage. Also, its ricochet shots do not benefit from kinetic surge armor mods. That's not to say surge mods aren't still good in Khvostov. It's just the ricochet itself, which, to be quite honest, you don't even need. This thing clears rooms. Seriously, guys, it's nuts how incredibly effective this thing is. It also comes with shoot to loot so that you can collect those orbs of power, which you can easily use to trigger Eyes Up Guardian. So guys, that is Khvostov, its quests, and our overview. We're going to be playing with it a lot more inside of PvP. I did get to play with it while I was at Bungie before the Final Shape launch, and I liked it, but I haven't got to play inside of PvP with it enough. But we'll be testing this one out extensively, so I'm really curious to know how much we can prime with this weapon to get it to that ricochet round. So be looking out for that. If you're interested, you can download Star Wars Hunters now using the QR code on the screen or the link in the video description. Big thanks to Star Wars Hunters for sponsoring today's video. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.